So you probably think about time in a pretty straightforward way, right? You've got the past, the present, and the future, all marching along in a nice straight line. But what if that's all wrong? What if the future is already reaching back and influencing what you're doing right now in this very moment? Let's dive into a principle that suggests our whole understanding of time might be completely backward.
Okay, let me ask you something. This moment, right now, as you're listening to my voice, does it feel special? Like it's the absolute cutting edge of reality, the most real moment in all of history? Yeah, most of us would say, of course. But I want you to hold on to that feeling because we are about to seriously challenge it.
Now, to really wrap our heads around this wild idea about time, we actually need to look backward first. We need to talk about a totally different revolution, one that completely changed how we see our place in space and redefined what it means to be here. For thousands of years, it just seemed like common sense, didn't it? We're standing on the Earth, we look up, and everything, the sun, the moon, all the stars, they all seem to revolve around us. This idea is called geocentricity. And, it felt right. It was intuitive. And it put us, humanity, right at the VIP center of the entire cosmos. And then Copernicus shows up. And with some brilliant math, he proposed something that was, at the time, completely absurd. The Earth isn't the center of anything. It's just another rock orbiting the sun in a vast, vast universe. And just like that, our physical location wasn't special anymore. So, the bottom line is this. The Copernican revolution demolished our here-centeredness. It was this huge mental shift that forced us to accept that our little corner of the universe holds no special, privileged position. We're not the center of the story.
Okay, so stick with me here. Humanity eventually got over the idea that here is special. So what happens if we take that exact same revolutionary logic and apply it not to our place in space, but to our moment in time?
And this brings us to this really cool parallel. You have the original Copernican Principle, which got rid of our here-centeredness. Well, its successor, the Super-Copernican Principle, does the exact same thing, but for time. It's all about getting rid of our now-centeredness, that deep down gut feeling that this present moment is the only one that's really, truly happening.
All right, so let's put a proper name to this and really define what this radical idea is all about. What exactly is the Super-Copernican Principle, and what is it saying about the nature of reality itself?
So here it is, in a nutshell. The Super-Copernican Principle states that just like your house isn't the physical center of the universe, this very moment, our now, isn't some special, unique, final frontier of time. In a very real sense, all moments in time are equally valid, equally real.
And this right here is where things get really, really weird. Because if our now isn't the end of the line, it means observers from the future aren't just on their way. As this quote puts it, they are already participating in creating our reality. Their influence is somehow echoing backward through time and shaping our present. I know. This sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. But believe it or not, there's an actual scientific puzzle that this whole idea is trying to solve. So let's break down how this is even supposed to work. The first, most obvious question is, why? I mean, why would reality need these weird echoes from the future? What purpose could that possibly serve?
Well, according to this theory, the answer comes down to information, a massive amount of it. See, some interpretations of quantum mechanics suggest that the universe only becomes solid and real when it's observed. The problem? The sheer complexity of our universe, its bit size, is absolutely enormous. There just haven't been enough human observers in all of history to have observed all of this reality into existence. We're running a deficit. So let's walk through the logic here step by step. First, let's assume the universe needs observers to become real. Second, we look at the math and realize all the observers up until now just aren't enough to get the job done. So third, that must mean other observers are pitching in. And if they're not here now, they must be in the future, with their observations somehow traveling backward to help fill in the gaps and create the world we see around us. So, who are these observers from the future? While on one hand, it could simply be future generations of humans, billions, maybe trillions of them. But the theory also opens a door to something a little more exotic. It could be completely different non-human forms of consciousness that don't even exist yet, all contributing to the creation of our world. So let's bring this all back home. What does this all mean for us, sitting here in what we call the present? If the future is actively helping create our reality, well, that just completely shatters our nice linear view of time.
The big, mind-bending takeaway is this. Time isn't a river flowing in just one direction. It's more like a web where the past, the present, and the future are all interconnected, all constantly influencing and creating each other. It means our present is being shaped by the future, just as it was shaped by the past. And it even suggests that the past might not be as set in stone as we've always thought. And that leaves us with one last really powerful idea to think about. If countless observers from the future are sending echoes back in time to help create our reality, what echoes are we sending forward? What future are our observations, our choices, and our actions helping to write right now?